All right, good morning, everyone. All right, let's take a look at the market and let's see what we would like to do today. All right, we're currently looking at the ES and see how it's trending. There's a little pressure on the upside. We do have some resistance at 652 and 669. Let's take a look at it on the 4 hour. All right, we do running into some resistance here. Yep, if it can break above 670, that's around 40-point move, then we can move all the way up. Otherwise, we might get some rejection. Let's take a look at the news from last night. Google provided its earnings. So cloud sales is expected to be down. So the market did not like Google's news. You see, there was we dropped all the way back down to 189. So what does that mean for today? One of two things. The market says it went too low off of 191 and wants to go back on up to 196 and back up, or it continues to stay low, and if we break 189, we can be in for a flush. Obviously, if Google flushes today off of earnings, that could potentially mean for the Qs a weekday. Let's take a look at it now in a smaller time frame and see if we got any strength coming back. We got some squeezes setting up. MACD is rolling up. Looks like Google can go down to 187 potentially and get a reverse. Right now it's at 190. It's really close to that 187, 188. I like to see what it does there. If it goes below, then we catch it down. If not, and it bounces up, we'll start looking at a reversal. Sometimes those are just gap downs and then gap up plays. So we'll see. Keep our eye on Google. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD has been on a bearish trend for quite some time. And there was an expectation that this earning news would be the catalyst that will get AMD back above 125. That does not seem to be the case. AMD took a plummet as well. We're down here to 108. There is some squeezes setting up. We can potentially go back up. But since we know resistance is sitting at 107, 106, we'll wait and see if we get a bounce. If these MACDs start to turn around, if so, then we'll ride it up. If not, if there's continued weakness and it breaks 107, we might be looking for a put. It's hard to say because it's already at a very good support level, that's in resistance support level. So we'll keep our eyes on AMD. Again, with AMD being down and Google being down, let's take a look at if they're partners in crime. Let's look at NVDA. So NVDA right now shot up yesterday, looking like it has some weakness in the market. It bounced right off of that 116 and went straight up like an arrow. So looking at it now in a 30-minute, it's right against that 119, 120. I don't know. It would really have to get past 121 for me to get into it. With AMD being weak, it could be a pop, but then fade. We'll have to keep our eyes on both. Let's take a look at Amazon, who also has earnings this week. Google's partner in crime. Amazon flushed down as well. We got a good channel setting up between 239 and 237. So that means I don't need to do anything. As long as Amazon's in between 239 and 237, I do nothing. If it goes down below 236, we'll take it. If it goes up to past 239, we'll catch it and ride it up to 242. Amazon's really simple. We'll keep our eyes on it and be patient. With that being said, let's take a look at our Qs now. All right. With Amazon and Google being down, Qs is going to need some help going up today. We'll keep our eyes on both. Looks like if we break 519, we got a good fade down. Again, these gap downs could turn into gap ups. So you just have to be patient and see. Do give me a long wick. You may want to go back to 524. But depending on how this bearish wick sets up in the next 15 minutes, we could be looking for a flush down this morning. Let's take a look at Meta. Meta's been doing really. This is in that tech sector. Look at Meta, got a good channels locked in right between 702 and 700. I like that setup. It's pretty simple. It breaks this, we fade it down. Breaks past 702, we fade it up. Gets no easier and simpler than that. Find your levels, get in, get out once it breaks those levels. So we'll be definitely watching Meta today. Let's take a look at Visa. I broke my rules yesterday trading Visa. I thought I saw some weakness, so I took Visa down. Actually, didn't make any money on it because it just stayed in between this range, and I just got out. So now, no big losses, no money made, nothing of significance. But Visa was locked in. Looked like financials was going to fade in the morning, and they pretty much did nothing outside of MasterCard. All right, so let's take a look at what we got on deck for Wednesday. So Wednesday, we got BABA after hours. We have ARM after hours, another semiconductor. And early morning with the market, we have Pfizer and Disney and Noble. So we have Disney, which I actually don't mind playing Disney. Disney is a pretty good play sometimes. Let's take a look and see what Palantir is doing. Palantir set the market on fire on Tuesday. We always like to keep our eyes a day or two after earnings to see what happens. A lot of times those stocks want to give back some of that. People start taking profit. So Palantir is right here at 102. It's actually a pretty good play. If it shows some strength, we could ride it back up to that 106, test yesterday's highs, all-time highs. Or if customers want to take that profit, we can get a nice little fade back to 97. So Palantir will definitely be watching today. Let's take a look at what Disney's doing. All right. So Disney, we got 115, 112. Those are our two areas of support and resistance. And we'll be waiting to see what Disney wants to do. Looks like Disney might fade. With Netflix doing so well, thought Disney might be able to try to piggyback off of that, but we'll be waiting to see what those earnings looks like. And if it do fade, we'll be looking at it after 112. It already gave us a wick down to 110. If it breaks that, we can get a nice little $2 move on Disney, which is not bad. Disney will be definitely looking at. And then let's look at our Qs and our SPYs. And I think we have enough to go forward. All right, Qs. We looked at this already, 519 back to 525. All right, seeing Qs. Let's take a look at SPY. Yeah, if it wants to break this 599 and we get up to 602, we might take that. We'll probably be patient with SPY. We have Disney, we have the tech sector doing some movement today, as well as the semiconductors. So we do got a squeeze setting up on a 30-minute with SPY. We got a couple of good areas it needs to break through before we get in and retest yesterday's high. So we'll definitely be looking at the SPY. Let's look at one last play before our market opens. Let's just check the semiconductor sector. Semiconductors off of AMD, be keeping an eye on that. Let's look at Target. This one came up on my radar. It's a lot of news around retail lately, especially Target. And seeing on one of my scanners, Target is setting up pretty bearish, 135 to 133. Not bad. And let's look at Tesla. Whoa. Tesla is showing kind of weakness this morning. So let's see. Whoa. Tesla was pretty choppy yesterday. Looked really bullish. And it was for about 15 minutes. Then came down. And then eventually Tesla in the afternoon took off. Choppy. But today, Tesla is setting up pretty bearish. So we keep our eyes on that. We got to get past this 385 level. If it does, then we can ride it down. If not, it might bounce off of the 385, chop around and go back up, but we'll keep our eyes on Tesla. All right, so that's it for today. So today we'll be looking at Google, Amazon, our Qs, SPY, Disney, and Tesla. And with Google and Amazon, we'll be also looking at AMD and NVDA. Let's see how the semiconductor sector responded to AMD's news around the data centers, sales and opportunities not being there as expected in the market, which could impact their overall revenue. So we'll take a look at how the market responds to those. There could be some weakness setting up in the market today, even if there's a morning pop. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. All right, if this information has been helpful, please remember to like and subscribe, make a comment, and be blessed. Thank you.